Hello, 7th grade. We are on to our second day of mini labs to determine if a chemical reaction occurs, and if it does, how can we tell? This is the one that you would be able to replicate at home if you want to. There's really no measurements involved, and the only things that you need are some sugar and a fire of some sort. Your best bet would probably be to use a little candle like this that can stand on its own. I suppose you could probably use an oven burner. You want to be super, super careful. If you do try to repeat this, please make sure that a parent is aware of it and that they know what's going on. That being said, this is something that, again, we would have done at school. And out of the 3 little short lab videos you're seeing, this is the easiest one for you to do at home without any crazy lab kind of chemicals. Just kind of a refresher what we're doing. Yesterday and today and Monday, you will have 3 short videos of different lab experiments. And your goal from these videos is to determine, number 1, did a chemical change occur? And number 2, if a chemical change did occur, how can we tell? A reminder that for a chemical change to happen, you need some bonds to break and some new bonds to form, and you need to have the formation of at least one new substance. So if you have a solid ice cube and you melt it to water, it's water before, it's water after. That is not a chemical change. We need a new substance. So we'll get started on our second one here. Using good lab safety. I'm not on camera today, but my hair is tied back. You don't want your hair down if you're working with fire here and things like that. This is just plain old aluminum foil. I did double it up so it's a little bit more sturdy, and I kind of folded the ends up to make a little tray out of it. And then I have these little, you could just use like tweezers, but some kind of tongs, something like that to hold it up so that your hand doesn't get too hot by the fire. And then this is just plain old sugar. Like, this is literally my sugar canister from my kitchen cabinet that I use when I like bake cookies and stuff at home. So nothing special there. Again, for this experiment, the procedure did not ask me to measure it. So I just did a little, I don't know, just a little like amount there. Again, it said a pea-sized amount. I went a little bit overboard, but that's okay. We're going to carefully light our fire here. And I am working on a paper towel because our counters in our kitchen are so dark that I don't know that you'd be able to see what was going on. Now, this may take a little while. I might have to speed up the video for you guys to see this. But all you're supposed to do is just hold this. My hand is shaking a little bit, I'm sorry. Hold our little tray of sugar over this candle, and we will see, hopefully, some stuff happen that you guys can observe and report back onto me. Remember that before the reaction happens, you should be able to explain kind of what you're seeing. So obviously we have a little fire. And our sugar, you guys have seen table sugar before, just kind of a white crystal solid there. So we'll heat this up, and I do think I'm gonna have to probably pause and come back to this a little bit. This might be a minute. So I think I'll do that, and then I will stitch the 2 halves together. So I'm gonna let this do its thing, and then you'll see what's happening in a second here. Hey guys, checking back in with our sugar reaction. I still have our little fire going under here. I'm gonna pause it again a little bit after this because you guys would be bored to tears if I had you stay for this whole thing. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. But I think you can probably see one thing there that has happened. I'm not saying that that's necessarily a chemical change, but it's certainly a change of some sort. We will talk about that. Some stuff is going to keep happening, so I'm going to keep holding on to this, and hopefully it'll keep going. Again, this is taking a lot longer than I thought, but I wanted to kind of give you a check-in and show you where we're at with our sugar reaction. So I'll update you in another second here. Wanted to give you guys another little update here. We're definitely still going. I did decide there's no way that this is going to happen to all the sugar. It would take me so long, but we'll focus on this little kind of pocket going on right here. Zooming in on that. So yeah, that's a pretty clear picture. You can see that pretty well. You can see what's starting to go on. Oh, I chose to come on this a good time. Good. Kind of just pay attention to some different things. The color, the state of matter, the movement. This looks really cool, actually. You can see, I think, some things coming off of that, which is perfect. If I could describe the smell to you right now, it smells like when you toast a marshmallow, which makes a lot of sense. So kind of that sweet toasty smell to it. And again, if we did this at school, we would just be, you guys would all be like sitting here saying your hands hurt. This is kind of a really long time that I've had to hold this right now. I still have the fire going, obviously, and I'm going to keep going with this and see what happens if we keep this process going. But I wanted to check in and give you a little update here. So again, this is just nothing but table sugar and held over some fire. So I'm going to keep this going. I'll hold it here for a little bit longer and we'll see what else, what other kind of changes this goes through. So I actually ended up taking my lighter and kind of like waving it underneath the whole thing. So I was able to get all of the sugar at least melted, but I'm still kind of focused on this one pocket here, and this thing keeps happening that you can see. It builds up that big bubble and then the bubble breaks and then it gives off like this puff. So that's kind of like our next big change that's happening. I'm still looking for one major thing, I think, to come from this, but you can definitely see a major color change that happened. We have a change of state, obviously. We have bubbles. We have what looks like smoke coming out of it. Definitely big time change. And again, I promise you I didn't add anything to this. All it is that sugar and my little steady fire still burning underneath. So I'm going to keep holding this here. My hand is getting a little tired, I'm not going to lie. And we'll see, I guess, what our final state looks like. If something else really cool happens, I'll grab a little bit more video, but I think until we get to our final stage, this is pretty much the last thing I need you guys to see. But again, I'm going to keep holding it here and see if we can get to our end result. But that was a pretty big change I wanted you guys to see. So this is pretty much it. This big pocket of very dark substance is what we're kind of left with. That's what I was focusing on a little bit. I don't have enough hands to do this, but if I take my actual lighter and I hold it up lit right underneath the foil there, it will still do a little bit of that bubbling. And even now with how dark it is, you can still see it kind of moving. It's definitely still got some liquid going on. It's still forming those air pockets and stuff. Or gas pockets, I should say, not technically air. We'll get into that a little bit later. It is actually making another bubble that we might see burst. But that is pretty much our final product here. And again, we just started off with table sugar and held it over fire for a way longer time than we expected. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was gonna take quite this long. It's been, I don't even know how long it's been. I should have been timing it. You guys are gonna see this video all super like short in one little span, but I've been here for a long while. So that is our second change. Your goal again is to decide if it's physical or chemical. We could have a little bit of both going on. And keep in mind, again, we just use table sugar. We have our chemical formula there, C12H22O11. So that's just carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, three of our big main elements of life. And you got to see the sugar go through most of the changes. Again, I didn't keep the camera on there the whole time. You guys would have been watching this for like ever. But you saw the big main parts of it, and this is pretty much our ending product. So that is our second mini lab showcasing chemical change. Rocky's whining at me. I'll show you guys him in a second. And we have one more on Monday that'll be kind of a similar thing. So go ahead and check out the Google form that goes along with this. Again, some of the questions will be to ask you what the substance was like before we started, what it looks like after we went through it. Do you think a chemical change happened? Why or why not? And some other basic things like that. So that's it for our second one. Rocky is whining at me. He wants some attention. There he is. He looks real grumpy today. And that's him. You guys have a great Wednesday. Bye. All right, so I lied. One more tiny little snippet for you guys. I just wanted to show you that I picked off a lot of that like brownish, blackish gloop that you saw bubbling and smoking and stuff on the foil. I picked it off and it has hardened. And I just kind of wanted to show you what it looks like, just a little bit. The texture, it looks kind of glassy. It's like a real super dark brown, even a little bit black in some places. Just to give you an idea of what our like end product was of our sugar change. So now I promise that's it. We're done. Okay, bye.